And good morning. Welcome to Today to Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Tim Tulloch joining me this morning. Keith Fusel off for the early show these couple of days. He'll be back tomorrow afternoon. But good to have you as we kick off a big 4-day holiday weekend of racing here at Laurel Park. Lots of action to get to. We're going to talk about the Stronach 5, the Sprint Fest Winter Carnival, a great weekend of racing here to get us through these winter months.
It's absolutely a great weekend of racing. Like you mentioned, the Stronach 5, then the 5 stakes tomorrow, including 2 Grade 3s, Sunday racing, and then special holiday card on Monday. We got it going on here at Laurel Park.
Well, let's show you. Let's go. Let's show you what's going on. Here's the big popular national wager, the Stronach 5. It's a $100,000 guaranteed pool. Now, last week they put almost $200,000 into it, and it paid well once again. It always has that industry low 12% takeout, just like both pick 5s here at Laurel Park. The Stronach 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. That's more money back in your pocket when you hit it. Let's show you the lineup of races. Laurel Park once again is going to be involved. We're not going to start it. It's going to start today. Gulfstream Park Race 8, approximately 4:10 Eastern Time this afternoon. Then we're going to come to Laurel Park for Leg B. Laurel Park Race 9 is the second leg of today's Stronach 5. Then out to Santa Anita for Race 4, back down to Gulfstream for the 11th. Then we wrap it up. Golden Gate Fields, Race 5. Tim, you have a ticket. I have a ticket for it. Everybody should have a ticket for this Stronach 5. We'll show our tickets later on in the program, but week in, week out, it's been paying well. They put almost $200,000 into it last Friday.
Yeah, with a $100,000 guaranteed pool, everybody should have a ticket. It's a fun sequence. It's a fun play, so you most definitely should get involved in the Stronach 5.
All right, so that's today. Let's show you what's going on tomorrow. Our big day of the winter. It's the Sprint Fest Winter Carnival here at Laurel Park tomorrow, Saturday, February 16th, a Big 10 race card. First race post time 12:30. We have 5 stakes, including the Grade 3 Barbara Fritchie and the Grade 3 General George, some of the top sprinters in the country here tomorrow at Laurel Park. Fun for the whole family. We have the ice wall with $3,000 in prizes you can chip away at. We have ice carving demos. We have a cool tech glove giveaway. Snazzy gloves we're giving away tomorrow when you buy a program while supplies last. And also we're going to have a nice buffet in the dining room. Of course, we're going to have a nice hot cocoa and coffee bar, very appropriate for a winter carnival, always a popular day here at Laurel Park.
Oh, as it should be with the card that is offered tomorrow here at Laurel Park. 14 are entered in the General George, 11 in the Barbara Fritchie, and the undercard stakes are really, really good competitive events. So it's going to be a lot of fun from start to finish.
Yeah, and both the Grade 3 General George and the Grade 3 Barbara Fritchie with last year's winner in there trying to defend their title. You have Miss Locust Point trying to win the Fritchie for the second year in a row, and you have Something Awesome for trainer Jose Corrales trying to win the General George for the second year in a row. Something Awesome's 5-1 morning line with the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado aboard. We have a video to show you of the morning line favored for the General George, and what a betting race it's going to be. 14 horses. Your morning line favorite, this horse right here, coming on the outside, still having funds. 9-2 morning line for the General George. He was just crowned the champion Maryland-bred 3-year-old from last year. It's a sharp work last Sunday he turned in right here at Laurel.
Yeah, it was a really nice work. I was out there to watch that work, and it was what I refer to as a very workman-like work. Nothing too trashy, nothing too snazzy. It was just came in behind horses, went to the outside in stretch and just easily got by those other horses. So it was a workman-like work. I think he worked in 101 a flat, maybe 101 a little change, but it was exactly what Tim Keefe wanted, and he looked good doing it.
All right, so still having fun. He's your favorite in the General George. And Miss Locust Point, she's not the favorite to repeat in the Fritchie. Your morning line favored is a Grade 1 winner coming from Santa Anita, the one Spice Perfection. 3-1 morning line for trainer Peter Miller. She just recently lashed out, won the Grade 1 Libre at Santa Anita late December. That's a strong win, and she's coming all the way here to Laurel Park this Saturday.
Yes, and she's been here for a few days. She was here yesterday morning and went to the track, and she went back to the track this morning and schooled at the gate for Peter Miller. And so they've been here for a couple of days, getting acclimated, had a couple trips around the track, so that will certainly help.
All right, so that's tomorrow, a big day of racing here at Laurel Park. Let's get you ready for today. Let's show you a picture of the main track. We'll have a beautiful, perfect, fair-playing fast track this afternoon here at Laurel Park. There's a picture. Beautiful weather today for wintertime racing in the 50s. A little cloudy. First race post time is 12:30. Let's get right to it here. Race 1 features the early pick 5. Both your pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's a mandatory payout on this early pick 5 starting in race 1. I have a ticket today for both pick 5s and the Stronach 5. Here's my early pick 5 ticket, a $32 ticket. I go 4 deep here in the opener with the 2, 5, 6, 7 here in race 1. That's a maiden 25 going a mile. Then race 2, I just go with the 1 and the 5 there, the 2 favorites in race 2. In race 3, I go with the 1A. The plain 1 is Scratch, Bobby G, but the 1A, Gorbachev, runs. I like the 1A. I also like the favorite there, the 8, Incorporate. And then race 4, that's a maiden 10, a wide-open maiden 10 going 6 furlongs. I go 4 deep there with the 1, 3, 6, 7. And then I single. I key on a horse in race 5. That's a nice allowance race going 7 furlongs. I single on the 4, Field Advantage, who just galloped against open 16,000 company here at Laurel Park. I'll single on the 4, Field Advantage in race 5. So there's my early pick 5. Let's take a look here at the opener. Maiden claiming 25,000 for 3-year-olds going a mile. Scratch to 1, it's game time. Scratch to 3, on a run. That was my top pick. Also scratch to 4, multiple. So 3 scratches out of the opener. I end up on the 5 here, Rafter, second off the claim for trainer Robert Vukovic. A decent effort last out, third against maiden 25 going 7 furlongs. So now we stretch out to a mile today. The horse was making a late bid with Rosario Montanez. Montanez back aboard today. And, well, it's a 4-horse field, so that's why we have the same picks here in the opener.
Yeah, pretty much the same picks. And Rafter is a decent try in his last race off the claim. He only got beat 3 lengths that day, going 7/8 of a mile. He stretches back out to a mile today. He hasn't run a mile since last November, but that was a good positive effort that he had in his last starts. Bobby Vukovic, 26% with his route horses, and Rosario Montanez returns for another shot on Rafter. I think this horse could be pretty tough here. I don't have him on top, but I do like him.
All right, the 7, your top pick, coming off the layoff for trainer Bernie Houghton, 3-year-old son of Tri-Tap, a homebred here for John Williamson. Trevor McCarthy, leading rider, takes the call here on the 7 Tri-Colors.
Well, the last time this Tri-Colors ran a mile on a fast track was 2 starts ago, last October, where he fired a lifetime best buyer speed figure of 52. That will be good enough to get it done here today. Comes back at the slop in his next start and doesn't run bad. He gets beat 10 lengths, runs third, has had a little bit of vacation for Bernie Houghton. Comes in here with some good solid works for his return, gets the meets leading rider Trevor McCarthy. That's good enough for me. I'll take Tri-Colors 4-1 on the morning line.
So the 5-7, 7-5 probably going to take the most money here in the opener, but a couple other live runners. The 2, LaGrasse Bill, a 3-year-old son of Miz and Mass for trainer Horacio De Paz, dropping from maiden 50 last out. Has 2 races under his belt now. Now stretches to a mile, takes a drop for strong connections. You get Alex Centron. The 2's live here, and probably you'll probably be about 3rd choice in the betting.
Yeah, no question. The 2's live here. He got late first off that layoff, going 7/8 of a mile, and that's to be expected. Stretches back out to a mile today. Stretches out to a mile for the first time today. He's had 3 solid works up there at Pimlico since that last race. Horacio De Paz, 33% second off this type of layoff, and 21% 30-60 days. So we know Horacio De Paz is very, very good with these types of horses. This this one's going to have to get the mile this time. I'm a little concerned that he got so late going 7/8 of a mile last time and now stretches out, but he's got those 3 works underneath him. It might be good enough.
And your leading trainer of the meet, leading trainer last year, Claudio Gonzalez, has a first-time starter here in race 1, the 6, Mr. Tilch by Grand Reserve, a Maryland-bred, homebred here for William Bain. Super C Racing, the part owner as well. Super C Racing just got Maryland Owner of the Year a couple nights ago at the Renaissance Awards. Claudio gets one of his go-to riders, Jomar Torres, to take the call. They're 24% together. The horse shows some decent works here at Laurel Park. You get Lasix in debut. Your thoughts here on the 6, Mr. Tilt?
Well, Claudio Gonzalez can be dangerous with his first-time starters. He hits at 23%, and this one comes in here with limited works here at Laurel Park, but they've all been good, solid works, including a nice gate work, which I always like to see sitting right on top of the race, 48 and change on February 9th. So this horse has every right to win this race if he's capable, and there's nothing that says he's not capable. Well spotted for Claudio Gonzalez.
All right, so I hit the all button using all 4 runners there in race 1 to kick off my early pick 5. Let's turn the page here. Race 2 will kick off the early pick 4. We offer you 3 pick 4s on the afternoon. Early pick 4 starts in race 2. We're going 6 furlongs, 25,000 starter allowance for filly and mares 4 and up. Never won 2 is the condition. You have the 3 on top. I like the 3, Paz the Wine. We have a video spotlight to show you. Let's show you that race from January 20th here at Laurel Park. Paz the Wine just gets beat a whisker this day.
Well, Paz the Wine is coming on the outside or right here. He was second to last, turning for home. This race was going 5.5 furlongs. He gets to stretch back out to the 6 furlongs today, and he just misses under Trevor McCarthy in his last start. He keeps on driving to the wire, and Trevor McCarthy keeps on riding. Trevor McCarthy riding in great form, and boom, just misses. 1 stride later, half a stride later, he's in front. He steps up today to the 25,000 starter allowance, downwards of 2 in this particular spot, but I think he's up to the task, especially with this extra half a furlong that he gets today.
All right, so the 3, Paz the Wine, going to be tough. We both like that horse. I have the 1 on top. You like the 1, City Party by Desert Party. It's a homebred for Mary Epler. She trains this horse as well, and maybe they got away with something here in the debut last November. They snuck this filly in here for maiden 16. She goes off at a generous 5-1, almost 6-1. She didn't break very well. She was on the rails. She got in trouble at the 5/16 pole, and she galloped by 4. Coming from off the pace. She had to break from the 1 hole that day in a 9-horse field. So a very impressive debut win for City Party. Jorge Riaz was aboard for that winning ride. He's back aboard today. She draws the rail once again today. Mary has her protected today. And against Starter Allowance Company, I'll go with the 1, City Party on top.
Well,
here.
There's no question that was a nice debut at the $16,000 level, and she ran it professionally. Even though she didn't get away well, she ran into dirt, laid off of horses, and came running and got the job done easily by 4 lengths. Now, she draws the rail again today. She can't afford not to get away well as she takes this step up against winners. However, Mary Epler comes off this little bit of a layoff, puts some good works into her. Her latest work, a nice half from the gate, 48 and change. Mary Epler's not taking any chances this time around. Going to make sure City Party gets away well.
All right, so nice starter allowance there in race 2 to kick off the early pick 4. Let's speed along here. Of course, we're all aiming for that big Stronach 5 later on in the card, but race 3 will start the rolling super high 5, and that has a little carryover to get things going, a little shy of 1,200 in the super high 5 with that low 15% takeout. That's going to start in race 3 today, so keep your eye on that throughout the day. In the 3rd, we're going to Mayo, claiming 16,000, 4 and up. Never won 3 lifetime. I go with the 8 on top, the favorite here in race 3. Incorporate gets the leading rider, Trevor McCarthy, to ride this 5-year-old son of Include for trainer Jerry Engelhard. Just an okay 3rd at this level last out. Came 5 wide at the quarter pole in that trip on January 4th. McCarthy was aboard that day, McCarthy back aboard today. The horse should have a trouble-free trip on the outside, has enough early speed to put himself. He can be a little closer than he was last. Some of his races, he was going right to the front. It looks like maybe they changed up the strategy a little bit last time they rated him, and he ran well. So he's very versatile. He gets McCarthy. You have him on top as well.
I have him on top as well. That was a real good Laurel debut behind the next out winner, My Eminence, and Calvi, who happens to be my best bet of the day, who comes up later in the 9th race. He ran a solid number here in his last start, and he comes in for Jeremiah Engelhardt, who's winning at 47% at the Laurel Winter Meet. They can do very little wrong. Trevor McCarthy returns a lot to like here with Incorporate.
All right, scratch the plain one. Bobby G is scratched to 1A. Gorbachev does run. And this horse, a 5-year-old son of Go Zapper. Let's see, Jose Corrales claimed the horse back for $5,000 a couple starts ago. Won first off the claim, won by 10 against Nickel 2 Life, going 7/8 in the mud. Now steps up here to the 16,000 3 Life, stretches out to a mile. This horse should handle a mile, no problem. Ricardo Chappie back aboard today.
Yeah, he steps up after an easy win against a softer group in that 2 Lifetime for $5,000 in the mud. I think he's a more seasoned horse than the last time he tried the mile distance, which is last September again in Maiden 16, where he ran okay but didn't run as well. But he's got 2 solid 7/8 mile races on his form since then. I think he'll be able to stretch out to the mile without too much of an issue here today. Look, he's by Go Zapper out of a rock hard 10 mare. You should be able to get a mile without a whole lot of issue.
All right, real quick, I didn't use the 3, but you have the 3 in your exact, the 10-1. Well, with the scratch of the 2, might be a little bit lower than that. But the Marilyn McMullen barn with a nice win recently here at Laurel.
Well, absolutely, and this one drops back down to a level where he's run some solid races. Go back to last October and November at this level. This horse was just getting beat. Actually won the 2 Lifetime 16,000, and then he tried the A other thans and the starters a few times. Not good enough to get it done here. He's back with company he likes, company he's competitive with. I'll take Hayana and Marilyn McMullen. Rosario Montanez returns on this one, and this one's 10-1 on the morning line.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. We have lots to get to. You have a Pick 6 ticket and a late Pick 4 ticket and a Stronach 5 ticket. I have a late Pick 5 ticket and a Stronach 5 ticket, so lots of action to get to. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
Okay, welcome back. Today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 4. We have a little carryover to start the weekend. There it is, $1,129 starts in race 4. Tim, you have a ticket for it today. Let's check it out.
I do, a $64.80 ticket. I spent a little bit more money on all my tickets going into this weekend, and I go 3 deep in the first leg, race 4, using the 1, the 3, and the 6. Race 5, second leg, 3 deep, 6, 7, 8. Race 6, 3 deep, 2, 3, 6, 4 deep in the 7th, which I think is a wide open race, and if I could afford it, I would have gone all there using the 2, 3, 5, and 7. Race 8, 3, 4, and 6, and I single on my best bet of the day in the 9th, Calvi for Dale Capuano, $64.80 ticket. Good luck if you play along.
All right, let's check it out. Race 4 also kicks off the middle Pick 4. It's a wide open maiden claiming $10,000 for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs, and I go with the leading trainer on top here. The 3 new stones I have on top. Ricardo Chappie on this 3-year-old, 4 trainer Claudio Gonzalez. An okay third last out when dropping to this level. That was on a sloppy track. It's a fast track today. Catches a soft group. I'll go with Top Connections here on the 3 new stones, my top pick.
Well, there's no question he catches a soft group, and he's coming off a good race, but his best 2 Lifetime races have been on tracks that were off, that had moisture in them, both listed as sloppy tracks. His fast track races have not been as good. Now, with that said, they were against a little bit tougher horse than he faces today, so that might be the key for New Stones. But clearly, his best races have been on tracks that were sloppy and had moisture in them.
All right, your top pick here, the 6 Perfect Air for Hammy Smith. Trevor McCarthy takes the call on this well-bred 3-year-old son of Jumpstart, who's just, pretty much been a disappointment so far, but taking a drop today.
Well, taking a drop from the maiden 25 to the maiden 10, and this is my price play of the day. He's 10-1, 5-1 on the morning line. He turns back to 3/4 of a mile and 3 back, going 5.5 furlongs. He fired a pretty decent race where he only got beat 2.5 lengths while running 4th. Trevor McCarthy has not been bet on him since that last race. He gets back on him today for Hammy Smith, so I'll take Perfect Air on the outside. He'll be coming late, but I think he's going to be good enough to get the job done today.
All right, we both used the 7-5 morning line favorite here in race 4. We used the 1 in our exacta. You'll like it. 3-year-old colt by Run It for trainer Jamie Ness. It just ran okay last out at this maiden 16,000 level. It didn't set any records, that's for sure. Last out, just ran okay, an okay 5th late January here at Laurel. Now gets Katie Davis to ride. A tough inside post, doesn't have too much early speed. I think the heavy favorite, a little suspect here in race 4.
Well, I think a suspect just on the fact that Trevor McCarthy went somewhere else.
Sure.
Trevor McCarthy rode this horse and rides plenty of horses for Jamie Ness, so he didn't protect the business there, so to say, by riding this horse. He went somewhere else. So just in that, I'll take the shot that you'll like. It is not good enough to get it done here, even though he's taking the drop from the maiden 16. He was soundly beat in that maiden 16, getting beat 5 lengths.
Okay, all right, let's turn the page here. Race 5, a nice first level allowance contest to kick off the late pick 5 here in the 5th race. No carryover today in the late pick 5. They hit it last Sunday. They hit it for a little over 16,000 in the late pick 5. So as always, we have that industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket. Let's check it out here. Race 5, I go with the 4 Field Advantage, and I also use the 6 Sacred Walk. Race 6 is a wide open maiden 10. I'm 4 deep there. The 2, 3, 5, 6. Race 7, I go 4 deep there. I use the 1A, 2, 5, 7. The plain one is scratched in race 7, but the 1A does run. Race 8, that's my best bet of the day. The 4 Lonely Drifter for Kieran McGee. Then race 9. That's that nice allowance race, second leg of the Stronach 5, going 7 furlongs in race 9. My price play of the day is the 7 Cousin Jimmy, but the favorite in there's 4, 1 and done for Claudio is going to be tough, so 4, 7 there in race 9. $32 late pick 5 ticket. Let's take a look here. Race 5, one of our features of the day, a first level allowance condition, 4 and up, going 7 furlongs. I go with the 4 Field Advantage. I didn't like this horse at all last time because the horse was a 4-life horse dropping down into open 16,000. The horse was 7-1. You liked the horse a little bit, and the horse whistled. He rallied from about mid-pack. He won by almost 2 lengths at 7-1. Got a strong 79 buyer speed figure. That was a lifetime best buyer speed figure. That was second off the claim for Anthony Ferrier. He has Field Advantage going in the right direction, and I think this horse will love the 7 furlongs today.
Well, he very well might like the 7 furlongs, and the reason I liked him so much last time is he was dropping to the 16,000 out of the first level allowance condition. Today, he steps back up into this condition and stretches out to the 7/8 of a mile, and his start 2 back at the out of the end level, not good enough, won't be good enough to get it done here today. Now, if he can run back to that race in his last start, that could be good enough. But we all know it's easier to run good races when you're running against softer group. He's not getting a softer group today. I use him. He's on my ticket. I just don't have him on top.
I don't know. The open 16,000, open 20,000s around here. Pretty salty groups. And now he's in a A other than. Let's take a look here your top pick, the 7 Nicholas and Me for Dale Capuano. Weston Hamilton will ride this 5-year-old son of Union Rag, second off the layoff
Yeah,
today.
second off a layoff where Dale Capuano hits at 31%. Second off this type of layoff gets Wes Hamilton. They win at 30%. But this one comes in here with some monster work since that last start on January 20th. 5/8 of a mile on February 2nd, 101 and change. And how about that work on February 9th? 5/8 of a mile, 59 flat. I think Dale Capuano has this one all cranked up. You go back before that little bit of a break from February of a year ago to January of this year, and you'll see some good, strong efforts with some good, strong numbers. I think this horse is primed to get back to that type of form for Dale Capuano, and I'll take him at 6-1 on the morning line.
I respect him. I use him in my top 4. He should run better today. Look at his stats with Weston Hamilton and Dale Capuano from a large sampling of horses. They're 30% together in a positive ROI. They've certainly been tearing it up here recently. Let's see. We both like the 6 as well, Sacred Walk. We have a video spotlight of the 6 Sacred Walk. Here's the race from December 14th. At Laurel against Starter Allowance Company, going a mile and a 16th. This was a fast track this day. He was in front by 2, turning for home, and has to survive a stretch battle. Wins by a nose, post a strong 88 Beyer speed figure this day. And then he saw a big win that day. And then he bounced last out against Starter Allowance Company in the mud. He was the beaten favorite. He didn't run a lick that day. Maybe he didn't like the off track. Maybe he bounced a little bit. I think he runs better today, getting back to a fast track for your leading trainer to get Victor Carrasco to ride.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that went wrong there. He was coming off 4 straight victories. Then he hooked a muddy track in a very, very tough starter handicap.
Right.
That race is part of our starter handicap series here at Laurel Park. That's a tough heat, but I think it was the mud. Even though he shows a good race on a course labeled as good, there's a big difference between good and muddy is sticky. He simply might not have liked it. I think he bounces back. No question about that today. He's had a nice work for Claudio since then. And, of course, Victor Carrasco and Claudio, they hook up at 29% of the time. So there's certainly a lot to appreciate with Sacred Walk.
All right, the 8 I didn't use, Working on a Dream. You have in your exacta. Blinkers go on today for this Jersey Town 4-year-old gelding for Trez Abbott. And this horse attracts Trevor McCarthy.
Yeah, and this is my wild card horse of the race. I mean, he's adding blinkers for the first time. He turns back 2 3/4 of a 7/8 of a mile off 3 solid efforts, one of them sprinting, 2 of them going around the ground. Some decent works coming into this race off this layoff. Route to sprint. Trez Abbott, 22%, and you're exactly right, attracts Trevor McCarthy. And anytime a horse attracts Trevor McCarthy, you have to give it some consideration. Yeah. I like Working on a Dream in my exacta.
All right, it's a nice allowance race there in race 5 to kick off that late pick 5. Let's speed along. We both have tickets for the Stronach 5. We want to save time for that. Race 6 starts the late pick 4. Real quick, show us your late pick 4 ticket and see how you played
late pick 4, $36 ticket, 3 deep here in the 6 using a 2, 3, 6, 4 deep in that wide open 7th, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 deep in the 8th, 3, 4, 6. Gave myself a little bit more coverage on my late pick 4 in the 9th, going 1, 2, 4, and 3 deep. $36 ticket. Good luck if you play the late pick 4.
All right, race 6 is a wide open maiden claiming $10,000 for 3-year-olds, going 6 furlongs. I'm 4 deep in this race on my late pick 5 ticket. I use a 2, 3, 5, 6. The 6 is my top pick, Baravelli for trainer Dale Capuano. The horse ran well first off the claim back in early January for maiden 25. A good third that day with Weston aboard, and then bounced last down as one of the favors, 3-5. It was 3-1 on February 1st. Was wide, but then just spit the bit. Didn't run very well at all. Now Dale drops the horse to the maiden 10. That's the right move. Let's see if this 3-year-old son of Super 99 can bounce back to good form today on the drop.
Well, you never, ever see a Dale Capuano horse run 2 bad races in a row, and I don't think Baravelli will today either. That race last time was going 7/8 of a mile. Maybe didn't like the 7/8 of a mile. It can be a tough distance for some horses to run, but gets back to 3/4 of a mile on the big drop from the maiden 25 to the maiden 10. You can't not use him.
All right, we like the same 4 horses here. You have the 2 on top, Luca Cito. a second-time starter for Claudio Gonzalez.
Yeah, drops off an okay try. Only got beat 7 lengths in his last start. Has a couple good works coming into this race. Claudio Gonzalez hits a 26% in his maiden claiming races, and I think with that race underneath him, making his second start, he moves forward under Carlos Carrasco.
All right, so we both like the 2, 3, 5, 6 in race 6. Let's turn the page. Race 7 kicks off the final pick 3 of the day. So claiming 12,500 straight 3-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs. Scratch the plain 1 Vegas Tycoon, but the 1A Kitchen Soup does run. I go with the 2 on top here, Vorian. First off the claim for Anthony Ferrier. Angel Suarez will ride his 3-year-old. He ran well last out. A good second going a mile here at Laurel against 12-5 2 Life Company. Was in front early that day. Got a little tired, a little erratic late. You see the comment line. I love the cutback to 6.5 furlongs today. And you get Angel Suarez, who's riding very well. So I go with the 2 Vorian on top.
Certainly. And Anthony Ferrier waits out his time, comes back in at the same level, and 2 starts ago, going 3/4 of a mile. This horse ran a co-best lifetime best race in a 52, getting beat 4 lengths at a little bit tougher level, and that started at 25,000 hours at 2. So it comes back at the same level. Ferrier waits, turns back, enough for me. Angel Suarez, like you mentioned, is riding very, very, very good right now.
All right, so we both like the 2 Vorian. I didn't use the 3 Charging Lion, 5-1 morning line, the apprentice Adrian Flores on this 3-year-old for trainer Gary Capuano.
Yeah, this one turns back, drops off 3 decent efforts, has a work since that last race, a nice half mile in 48-4 on the 26th of January right here at Laurel Park. And his last 3 starts, including his last 2 going a mile, have been okay efforts. The numbers could be a little bit improved, but the results were good. I expect this one to run pretty well on the turnback and the drop.
All right, so race 7 means you're about 1 race away from getting your Stronach 5 tickets in. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 is when you need to start thinking about getting those Stronach 5 tickets in, because our race 8 scheduled to go off about 4 o'clock. Just keep that board up there for a few minutes. Our race 8 scheduled to go off at 4 o'clock Eastern time, okay? The first leg of the Stronach 5 is Gulfstream Park, race 8. That goes off at 4:10. So when we get to our race 8 today, that's when you need to start punching in your Stronach 5 ticket. There's the guaranteed pool. 100,000 is the guaranteed. They bet almost 200,000 into it last week. Industry low, 12% takeout. Here's the lineup of races. Let's show the lineup. Gulfstream Park, race 8, kicks it off at about 4:10. Then Laurel Park, race 9, is the second leg. Then we go to Santa Anita, race 4. Then back down to Gulfstream, race 11. We wrap it up Golden Gate Fields, race 5. Both Tim and I have tickets. Tim, let's check out your ticket, see how you played it.
Yeah, $72 ticket. You go 4 deep at the leg A at Gulfstream Park using the 1, 3, 5, and 8. 3 deep right here at Laurel Park in leg B using the 1, 2, 4. Go out to Southern California. I go 3 deep, 1, 5, 6, San Diego Park, race 4. This is my single at Gulfstream Park, the 11, leg D, Countin' Q at Gulfstream Park. Finishes up Golden Gate Fields using the 5 and the 6, $72 ticket. Make sure you get in on the Stronach 5.
All right, here, let's pop up my ticket here real quick. A $48 play. I'll go 3 deep in the first leg at Gulfstream, race 8. I like the 1, 3, 5 there. Then Laurel Park, race 9, the second leg. That's a nice race. That's a real nice allowance race. I go 4 deep there with the 1, 2, 4, 7. My top pick in that race, my price play of the day, the 7, Cousin Jimmy at 6-1 morning line. Then the Santa Anita, race 4. I go 2 deep there with the 1, 4. Then Gulfstream, race 11. That's leg D. I use the 8 and the 11 there. Then my single, Golden Gate Fields, race 5, that wraps up the Stronach 5. It's a nice allowance race for filly mares going a mile on the Tapeta surface. I single on the 5, Music Babe, who's the closer. A lot of speed in that race. I like the 5, Music Babe, as a closer. That's my single. $48 ticket for the Stronach 5. Let's take a look here at race 8, and then we'll get to our race 9. But we wanted to make sure we showed you that race 8, because that's when the deadline's approaching to get your Stronach 5 ticket in. Now, back to race 8 real quick. Here's a beaten nickel for filly mares going a mile. My best bet of the day. You have this filly on top as well. The 4 Lonely Drifter, a 4-time winner at Laurel Park. She's won 3 starts. She's won 3 times from 5 starts going a mile. She didn't run, she ran an okay third last out against Open 8,000 Company. Was claimed that day. Kieran McGee wants to win now with this filly. He waits the 30 days, drops her in against beaten nickel Company. You get a good ride in 5-pounder Apprentice, Kymar Trotman. We both have the 4 Lonely Drifter on top.
And yeah, Kira McGee, 22% first off the claim, drops from the 8,000 to the nickel, and why not? This is the right thing to do. You get beat for 8,000, you go back in for the nickel. This is a great move, a nice work, decent work since that last race. Gets Kymar Trotman for the first time and getting a little weight. Lonely Drifter should be a pretty short price favorite in this one.
All right, so we both have the 4 on top. We like the same 4 horses there in that race. Let's turn the page here. That's Gulfstream Race 8. That kicks off the Stronach 5. Then the second leg of the Stronach 5 right here at Laurel Park, Race 9. Now, we'll have a big handle in this race. The Stronach 5's been working. It creates a lot of national attention on specific races that are featured in the Stronach 5. So fans from all over the country are going to be playing Race 9 even more so today because it's the second leg of the Stronach 5. And it's a real nice first-level allowance condition, 4 and up, going 7 furlongs. We have 2 video spotlights to show you. You have the 1 Calvi on top. Let's show you the race from January 25th here at Laurel.
Yeah, breaking from the 2-hole, and Calvi just had a rough trip all the way down. Got a little squeezed on out of there, and then going down the backside, poor Calvi got stopped more than I get stopped behind a school bus going to pick up my kids. Gets stopped up here early, right here, and then gets stopped again going into the turn. He still comes running with a good run. He only gets beat 3 lengths for the whole thing, and around the turn he drops back to last because he's about to get stopped again right around here, and he drops back. Here we go. He drops back all the way to last, comes running, gets beat 3 lengths for the whole thing. Gets a rider change to Trevor McCarthy today, or meets the leading rider, and I don't think that's a rider upgrade. I think that's a rider change. Trevor McCarthy makes things happen a little bit more. He's a little more prompt. And maybe even a little bit more aggressive than some other riders, and I think that will suit Calvi, who needs to get out of there, and unfortunately draws a 1-hole again, which doesn't work in his favor, but I think that will change under Trevor McCarthy for Dale Capuano, who hits a 20% in his allowance races. He's my best bet of the day.
You have to respect him. I use him absolutely on my Stronach 5 ticket. I'm 4 deep here on this Stronach 5 leg. I like the 1, 2, 4, 7. My price play of the day is in this race. The 7, Cousin Jimmy, I think is going to love the 7 furlongs. Let's show you what he did last out February 3rd right here at Laurel Park. There he is. He's come 7 wide, turning for home against First Level Allowance Company, restricted Maryland bred company on February 3rd. He gets up and wins by a good nose this day with Weston Hamilton aboard. Weston was aboard for the maiden score as well last September. This was a closing sprinter for trainer Donna Lockhart. He's a homebred for Halley House Farm by Redeemed. I think Cousin Jimmy, this will be his first time going 7 furlongs today. He got a big 77 buyer with that win we just showed you there. He'll be coming late. I think the 7 Cousin Jimmy is going to love the 7 furlongs today.
Oh, I think he'll like the 7 furlongs. I'm just not sure if it's going to be good enough. I'm not going to take anything away from his last race when he dropped back down to the state bred level at the first level allowance condition. He got a nice race with a good number. But he steps back up to the Open A out of Than. His last 3 starts in Open A out of Than, not so good. The best result he was able to come out with was a 5th, beaten 3 lengths. The other 2 aren't going to be good enough. Going to have to step up and continue that good form from his last start at the state bred allowance level.
All right, there's no tricky lions or Mandels or home run makers in here.
Yeah, but there weren't any tricky lions, Mandels, or home run makers in his last start either.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's why they run the race. The 4 1 and done we both like. I'm wondering if this horse can get to 7 furlongs today.
The 1 and done for Claudio Gonzalez. Well, you know, his horses do things that they're not supposed to do, and this is the first time with Claudio Gonzalez, 28% He's got 2 good local works. He is stepping up from those Parks races where he was running some good, strong numbers. Look, if he can run back to any of those races, he wins the race. I mean,
Sure.
it's just end of story. But he's got to get the 7/8, and he's got to run back to those numbers at Parks. And we do always keep in mind that we find anyway that some of these Parks numbers are a little inflated, and a lot of the horses, except for the ones at the top level, have a hard time running back to them.
All right, so the 4 is probably going to be in front. The 1 Calvi you have on top. The 9 I didn't use on the outside here. Lion Lord, Sheldon Russell on this 5-year-old son of Bernardini for Jose Corrales.
Well, Lion Lord's been unfortunate with the weather in his last 2 starts where he's hooked off tracks, and he simply doesn't like an off track as much as he likes the fast track. Because 3 starts ago, right here at Laurel Park, in that starter 25 allowance level, he got the job done on a fast track going the 1-turn mile, ran a 74 speed figure, turns back to the 7/8 of a mile today. That will be good for me. I'll take him. And what is he on the morning line here? He is 10-1 on the morning line.
All right, so nice 9-horse field. Let's see, no scratches, 9-horse field in race 9. That's the second leg of that popular national wager, the Stronach 5 today. Nice allowance race there in race 9. That's it. We're out of time. Dave Rodman, he's on deck coming up with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.